Hi, everybody. Welcome to the ACHA Power Play here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube and, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza, by the way. And as always, on X at The Real Captain Lou, we invite you to follow our pages there. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network, the home of the ACHA Power Play. We get all of our shows live and archived right there. So follow us there, subscribe to our channel. You get that and a whole lot more, all of our extravaganza episodes, everything that you want to see in the world of sports right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. The ACHA Power Play here on this February the 18th, a special Wednesday edition, as we are less than 48 hours away from puck drop for the Division II regional tournaments on the men's side for the right to go to the National Tournament in St. Louis starting on March 12th. That's right. 22 days away from puck drop. It's going to be here before you know it. And we've got some fantastic matchups in the regionals this year. It's win or go home. It's 2 days. You win 2 games, you're in. You punch your ticket to St. Louis. There's no auto berths anymore. The top 2 teams in each region are not going as they have in the past. So we're going to see if there's going to be some upsets. Any of those first 2 seeds, who knows if they're going to survive this 2-day tournament. So again, it's very simple. Single elimination, bracketed, win or go home. That's all it is. We're going to go through all the regional matchups, all 4 regions. We'll give you the times, the dates, the locations, all of that right here on the ACHA Power Play. Also tonight, we're going to run down the latest rankings in the other divisions and the big games coming up in Division 1. And also, we'll get you, again, a reminder that for men's Division 1, the reveal of the brackets, the reveal show is coming back next Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Our friends over at the Liberty Flame Sports Network are going to bring it to you live. Yours truly is going to be part of the panel, if you will. Really looking forward to bringing that to you. We're going to give you your first look at all the matchups in men's Division 1, the brackets, who's playing who. We're going to give you our predictions, our sleepers, live look-ins, and we're going to have some coaches live on the show. It's going to be a great show. 9 o'clock this Tuesday night. That's the reveal for the men's Division 1 bracket. All right, let's get you started. But before we do that, a reminder that tonight's show, as always, is brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network and the ACHA Power Play. That is SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. If there's a game you want to go to when the NHLers are back from the Olympic break on the 26th, the NBA, whatever, March Madness, college hockey, NCAA style, whatever, make sure you go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou. It's that simple, and you get $20 off of your purchase. All right, we mentioned it. The Division II regionals are starting on Friday. 2 of them on Friday, 2 of them on Saturday. It's a 2-day event. Friday, Saturday for the Central and the West regionals. Saturday and Sunday for the Southeast and the Northeast regionals. So we're going to get you all set now with the brackets and tell you who's playing who. Let's start with the Central Regional on Friday, as they're going to be taking place in Hammond, Indiana, the home of Purdue Northwest, the Cube, and the Homewood Flosner Ice Arena. The Homewood Flosner Ice Arena will be the host of 4 games on Friday, and the Cube Sports Complex will be on Friday, and then the second round games will all be at the Cube on Saturday. Here we go. Friday, February 20th, it kicks off with number 3 Schoolcraft against number 14 Georgetown. That's 11 o'clock local time. These games are Central Time Zone, so 12 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 out Mountain West, 9 Pacific. And then at the Cube, it's going to be Minnesota, the 4 seed, going up against Michigan State, the 13 seed. That ought to be a dandy as well. Sioux College, the number 12 seed, they're going to take on Minnesota Crookston. These 2 teams have played before. They're going to play at 2 o'clock at the Cube. And then also at the Homewood Flosner Ice Arena, Maryville, the 6th seed. They're going to take on Arkansas, the 11th seed. Arkansas, a sneaky team at 11. They won the initial Frozen Showcase down in Nashville about a month or so ago. They look pretty good. They can put the puck in the net. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fare against a team that knows how to get to nationals. That's Maryville. Then at 5 o'clock, the 2:15 matchup, St. Thomas, the Tommies. They've been to the nationals a few times as well. They're going to take on Adrian College, Tyler Cataline's team, making the trip to the Cube at 5 o'clock, or the Homewood Flosmer Ice Arena at 5. And then at the Cube, 5 o'clock Friday night, it's going to be Lindenwood, the number 1 seed, the defending national champs. Gary Gardner's team are going to take on Nebraska, the 16 seed, 1 versus 16. Always an interesting matchup. But Lindenwood looking to start the defense of their crown as they're looking to go back-to-back national champs. But it starts here at the Cube Friday night, 5 o'clock local time. And then the nightcaps at both arenas. At Homewood, it's going to be number 7 Wisconsin against number 10 Marion. You can throw the records out the window when these two teams player matchup. That's going to be one heck of a matchup. And then the 8-9 matchup is going to be a good one too. Purdue Northwest against Concordia of Wisconsin. Concordia, they know how to win these pressure situation games. I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was now maybe 3 years ago already. Who knows? I can't remember. I think it was 2 years ago when they played an overtime affair, a couple of them, to get to the national tournament. And again, talk about teams that know how to put the puck in the net. That's Concordia. So those are the opening round games. And then after that, on Saturday, all 4 games will be at the Cube. It's going to be the 3rd lowest seed against the 3rd highest seed. That's going to be at 11 o'clock local time. And then the 4th against the 4th at 2. The lowest remaining seed against the highest remaining seed at 5. And then 2 and 2 rounded out at 8 o'clock. So there's your matchups. The opening day, the opening weekend of the Central Region. Some big matchups, some interesting ones. The 2 that I'm keeping an eye on really are going to be Maryville and Arkansas, and also that Wisconsin-Marion game. I think those could be the highlight games. But you never know. When you get in a situation like this, you take one period off, or even a couple of, a power play, you get some penalties or whatever, all of a sudden you get put behind the 8 ball. We'll see how some of these teams fare when they're, playing in this pressure situation, but it's going to make for a very interesting regional. That's Friday and Saturday at the Cube, Hammond, Indiana, the home of Purdue Northwest. All right, let's stick to the other Friday, Saturday matchups. Let's go to the West, and we're going to start out. All of these games are at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's going to start out with number 4 Utah State against Boise at 13. New Mexico, the 8. Arizona, the 9, that's going to be at 10:30 Mountain Time. Then it's going to be Providence University against Grand Canyon, 5 versus 12 at 1. Then the number 1 seed, they've been number 1 all year in the West. That's Oklahoma State. They're going to take on 16 seed Washington. Here's a couple of games that I want to keep an eye on right here, because I've seen a couple of these 2 teams play in the showcase back in January. Weber State, the 2 seed, taking on Texas, the 15 seed. And Montana State against Texas A&M, 3 versus 14. Those are at 4 and 4:30, respectively, local time on Friday. Texas A&M made the finals last year, or on January rather, in the Frozen Showcase against Arkansas. And this is going to be an interesting matchup. Montana State, of course, they made it all the way to the championship game in Division II, losing to Lindenwood. They know what it takes to get there. They made it through the gauntlet last year in pool play. So they're no stranger to high pressure situations, but that's going to be a fun one to watch and keep an eye on. Then at 7 and 7:30, it's going to be number 6 Utah against Northern Arizona, the 11 seed, and then Colorado, the 7 seed, against number 10 Montana. That's going to be a great matchup as well. So after all that's said and done, then on Saturday, it'll be the 4th lowest against the 4th highest at 1 local time. Then at 1:30, staggered times on Saturday, it's going to be 3rd seed against the 3rd highest seed at 1:30. Then at 4 o'clock, it's going to be number 2 against number 2. And then at 4:30, it's going to be the lowest remaining seed against the highest remaining seed. So that's your West regional matchup. And again, the 2 that I'm going to keep an eye on, the opening round games, Weber State and Texas, and then the 3-14 matchup, Montana State and Texas A&M. Now, a reminder that all of these matchups are going to be on Flow TV. If you're going to be in the Hammond, Indiana area on Friday at the Cube Friday and Saturday, I'll be bringing those games to you from the Cube all weekend. Really fired up to be a part of this one with the ACHA and Flow TV. So again, these matchups in the Central region and in the West are Friday, Saturday. So we'll know half the field by the end of the night Saturday who's going to go to St. Louis and be part of pool play in men's Division II. All right, let's keep it rolling along here, shall we? Let's go to the Northeast region. They're going to be playing on Saturday and Sunday in Simsbury, Connecticut. These are going to be some fun matchups as well to keep an eye on. UMass Amherst, they're going to start things off. Now, all of these are going to be at the International Skating Center in Simsbury, Connecticut. The 2023 national champions, UMass Amherst. They're going to be the 4 seed. They're going to take on Siena. And then at 10 o'clock, it's going to be St. Bonaventure against Sacred Heart Academy. That's the 3-14 matchup. That one, these are all Eastern time zone, by the way. At 12:30, it's going to be Army against Boston College, the 5 versus 12. Then RPI against Fairfield. Great to see Fairfield back in competition in ACHA, the 6 versus the 11 at 1 o'clock. Then at 3:30, it's going to be the number 1 seed. This team's been number 1 in the Northeast, it seems like, throughout the year as well. Niagara, they're going to take on Westchester, 1 versus 16. And then Farmingdale, great to see them. I know one of the assistants, Joe Mazie. It's great to see him back in the ACHA fold, 2 versus 15. It's going to be Farmingdale State against Bentley. That's a 4 o'clock puck drop Eastern time Saturday. Then number 8, Binghamton against number 9, Northeastern. That's going to be a fun matchup. And then finally at 7 o'clock, the nightcap in the Northeast, it's going to be Connecticut College against Boston University. So again, some of these teams used to getting the auto burst. Now in this particular region, this is going to be new for these teams that were number 1 and number 2. So really, it again boils down to winning 2 games. The pressure situation, it's single elimination. So, you know, again, you just win 2 and you're going. And there's no auto bursts, as we mentioned. So all 16 teams, great matchups. So I'm going to keep an eye on UMass Amherst and Siena. And also the RPI Fairfield matchup, and then Farmingdale and Bentley. I think those are all going to be great matchups. This is a pretty stacked region as well. I think it's pretty wide open there. And then on Sunday, it's going to start out with the 4th against the 4th, lowest against highest. That's going to start at 12 o'clock. And then it's going to be 3rd against 3rd at 12:30. And then the staggered times, 3:15 and 3:45, second lowest against second highest. And then the lowest against the highest, that's going to take place at 3:45 Eastern time. Again, these are all at the International Skating Center of Connecticut in Simsbury. So that's going to take place on Saturday. All right, 3 regions are in the books with the matchups here for this weekend starting on Friday. The last one is going to be on Saturday, Sunday, and this one's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. And these are going to be some fun matchups too. I'm really looking forward to keeping one eye on this throughout the weekend. And again, this is going to be at the Queen City Sportsplex in Cincinnati. These start 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and it's going to be the 1 and 16 matchup. It's going to be Florida Gulf Coast against North Carolina Wilmington. That's going to be right out of the chute. Florida Gulf Coast, we all know their rich history. They've been to the national tournament every year, I think, for the last decade, if not longer. And they've got a couple of national championships under their belt, quite a few Final Four trips. So, yeah, this is going to be a fun one to keep an eye on as well, right out of the gate to start it off on Saturday. Then at 9 o'clock, staggered times for these. It's going to be number 2 Tampa and number 15 Georgia. Really excited to keep an eye on this one as well. I'll be watching a little bit of this Saturday morning before the second day of the West or the Central Regionals start, as Tampa and Georgia, a 15 seed. I think they're sneaky good. John Camp's team, I think, is going to be loaded for bear. Got a chance to watch them in that Southeastern Showcase, the Frozen Showcase down in Nashville, and they barely lost in the semifinal round of that one. So they're going to be really loaded for bear. Another interesting matchup, Liberty and South Carolina, the 8 versus 9 matchup at 10:30. Then at noon, Penn State and Rowan, a huge matchup there. 1 o'clock, it's going to be Ohio and Virginia Tech, 3 versus 14. And then at 3 o'clock, it's going to be Florida Atlantic and Miami. Don't sleep on Miami. I'm telling you right now. They know what it takes to get to the national tournament. They are a sneaky good 13 seed. Man, this is going to be a great matchup with them and Florida Atlantic. at 3 o'clock. 3:30 Eastern time, Tennessee and Indiana. We all know Indiana's story, winning the national championship a couple of years ago in overtime against Miami. That's going to be a fun matchup. And then Ohio State and Florida, the 5 versus 12 matchup. That's going to be live at 6 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. Then on Sunday, it starts out with the highest remaining seed against the low seed. That's 9 a.m. puck drop Eastern time on Sunday. Then it's going to be the second versus the second at noon, third versus the third at 3, fourth versus the fourth at 6. So this region's going to be a fun one to keep an eye on as well. I'm calling my shot right now. I think the upset of the weekend is going to be 15 Georgia taking Tampa, 15 versus 2. And then another one to keep an eye on, Miami and Florida Atlantic. Don't sleep on Miami. They seem to find a way to get to nationals every year. That's going to be a very, very, very interesting couple of games on Saturday. And then they culminate it all with Sunday with the second round. So there you go. Those are your 4 regions. The regional matchups are set. They begin Friday morning in both Utah at Salt Lake City and Hammond, Indiana, the Central and the West. Then on Saturday, the Northeast is in Simsbury, Connecticut, and the Southeast is in Cincinnati, Ohio. 2 wonderful days of hockey. Well, 3 wonderful days overlapping Friday through Sunday, getting you set, getting you a taste for the national tournament coming up starting on March 12th. We're just 22 days away from puck drop for men's D1 and men's D2 at the Centene Ice Center. And, of course, some of the games will be in Maryville, the opening day, the men's D2, and some other ones as well. But the majority of the games will be at the Centene Ice Center, the 3 rinks there. The main one, the USA Arena, where I'll be at throughout the week, throughout the whole scenario from the 12th to the 22nd. Then the NHL Arena and at Plager. So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to go down the rankings real quick in the other divisions and kind of get you an idea of what's going on there. And then the big games coming up this weekend. There's a couple. And then, of course, we've got, again, the show coming up next week we're going to talk about as well. All right, you're watching the ACHA Power Play right here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here. Hey, is there a ball game you want to go to last minute? How about the Spartans at Spartan Stadium? Go to the Big House to watch the Wolverines. Is there an NFL game you want to go to? Lambeau Field, Ford Field, wherever, Baltimore. How about the Tigers for the pennant drive? Well, go to SeatGeek. Get those tickets there. Use the promo code Captain Lou right on the screen, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. So go to the Spartan game. Go to the Big House. But use the promo code Captain Lou at SeatGeek, and you'll be all set. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the ACHA Power Play live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network. The road to St. Louis, 22 days to puck drop. It's that soon. The sprint portion of the schedule, we've kicked it into 4th gear. We're coming around the bend, everybody. St. Louis is in our sights. First, this weekend is going to be the big weekend, as it's going to be Division II men's regional matchup weekend. The tournaments are this weekend to determine the 16 teams that are going to consist of pool play coming up starting on March 12th in St. Louis. All right, let's go through the rankings. The latest rankings are out. Men's Division I. This is the last ranking before the reveal show coming up this next Tuesday. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But just out, the men's Division I ranking, and we got a little bit of movement in the rankings. Now, Minot State, after their sweep of number 9 Calvin at the time, they're still at number 1, but we've got a flip-flop. Niagara now, Tom Maradian's team is now at number 2 as they switch with Ohio. Ohio split over the weekend with Liberty, so Ohio falls to 3. Then you've got the defending national champion, Coach McNary Greener's team, the Skating Rebels of UNLV. They're at number 4. Drury is at number 5 right now, so they're holding pat pretty much right there. Drury's been number 4 or number 5 really throughout most of the year. So they stay there. Liberty's at 6. Jamestown again. The Jimmies always in the top 8, it seems like. They're at number 7. Maryville hanging on to number 8. So important for those teams to hang on to those top 8 rankings to get the auto bid, or I should say the opening round bye. So the first 8 teams again, Minot, Niagara, Ohio, UNLV, Drury, Liberty, Jamestown, and then Maryville. Number 9 and number 10, they flip-flop. 2 GL6 teams, Adrian and Calvin. They go at number 9 and number 10. Mary is at 11. Utah is at 12. Grand Canyon at 13. Hope College is at 14. Arizona bumps up to 15. Purdue Northwest, they're up to number 16. Missouri State falls to 17. Midland is up to 18. Grand Valley is at 19. Then you got Stony Brook at 20. Westchester at 21. IUP is at 22. Davenport holding at 23. And then Kentucky's at 24. And Indiana Tech now ranked in the top 25 at number 25. All right. We talked about it all year. You've got 6 auto berths this year into the national tournament. Now, a couple of those will probably come from these top 20 teams, the top 20 of them anyways. Top 24 are bracketed out. We're going to have that reveals show coming up next Tuesday on the Liberty University Sports Network at 9 o'clock Eastern time. We'll update you on that on our social media outlets where you can watch that. But it's huge because you want to get in the top 8, number 1, to get that auto berth, or you get the bye into the first round bye. And so that's, I know what you'd like to get, but obviously you want to make the tournament. And an interesting thing, do you want to be in the top 14, 15, or would you rather be right around 17, 18, 19, so you don't have to play a top team like Minot should you win and get in the second round, or Ohio or whatever? But this is going to be very, very, very fun to keep an eye on. And there's been some conference tournaments this weekend. I know some of them kick in tonight. Last night, Calvin took on Roosevelt and won that one handily 9-1. But in a big matchup between number 16 and number 19, it was Purdue Northwest and Grand Valley locking up. And Purdue Northwest won a nail biter 3-1 last night. It was even going into the latter stages of that one in the third period, but Purdue Northwest got a couple of Ledoux goals to win that one. So they won 3-1. Tonight, Hope College is taking on Davenport in a 14-23 matchup. Davenport needs this. I think they're going to have to win the conference tournament to get into the national tournament. So I know that's their playoff, their season lives, really, their tournament lives are on the line tonight. This is a big game for them. So, and then the WAC conference starts out this weekend. Indiana Tech is probably going to have to win that to get in. But we got 6 auto bursts. So ideally, you want to finish right around 17 or 18 to guarantee you a spot. So there's going to be a lot of teams looking at that. And of course, like we mentioned, next Tuesday night, we'll have the total reveal. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. All right, in women's Division I, the latest rankings are out. And Liberty, again, the number 1 team in the land. No doubt, no surprise there as they're marching on for their 8th national championship. They're the defending champs. Midland is at number 2. Minot, McKendree, flip-flop, 3 and 4. So Minot is number 3, McKendree at number 4. Maryville at 5. Michigan Dearborn's at 6. Adrian is at 7. Arizona State is 18. Niagara is at 9. I'm sorry, Arizona State is 8, not 18. Niagara at 9. Jamestown and UMass bump up. Jamestown is at 10, and UMass is at 11. Miami's at 12. Indiana Tech is at 13. Michigan State at 14, and Michigan is at 15. And so there's 3 auto bursts that go into this national tournament as well, and they are the CCWHA, the Women's Western Collegiate Hockey League, and the WMCHL. Those are the 3 auto bursts right now. The Women's Midwest Collegiate Hockey League, they've got 6 teams ranked in the top 15. And the CCWHA, they've got 6 of the 12 matchups as well. So, or teams ranked. And the WCHL, they don't have anybody ranked. They're going to get an auto berth. So, again, you want to play it safe. You want to be in the top 9 to guarantee yourself a spot in the national tournament. So we'll see. It's going to come down to the final weekends, and can't wait to bring that to you, get that all set up. And then they play in pool play coming up as well. Women's Division II. All right, we're going to give you the top 2 teams in each region. Sioux College, mainstay. They're the number 1 ranked team in the Central. Northern Michigan, they've been up there all year. They're ranked number 2. In women's Division II in the Northeast, it's Providence College and it's Boston College, 1 and 2. In the Southeast, it is Liberty at number 1 and the Naval Academy at number 2. Navy looking to make that next step to the championship game. They got to the Final Four last year. And finally, it is Assiniboine, ranked number 1 in the West, and St. Thomas, ranked number 2. Their latest rankings are going to be coming out here shortly. And they've got 3 rankings left to determine their pool play members in the national tournament coming up in St. Louis. And finally, in men's Division III, the latest rankings. Let's see if we can get the latest rankings up here. The number 1 team, as it's been all year, Middle Tennessee State. They're ranked number 1. The Air Force Academy, they went to the championship game last year. They're at 2. Calvin's at 3. Central Maine up to 4. Oakland down to 5. Then you've got South Carolina at 6. South Florida rather at 6. South Carolina at 7. And then you've got Grand Valley up to number 8. Nebraska, Omaha, 9. And you've got Sacred Heart at 10. Northwood at 11. UMass at 12. Dordt at 13. Tampa 14. Clemson 15. And Tufts at 16. Lawrence Tech, the champions from a couple of years ago, they're at 17. And Wentworth is at 18. So, again, the top 16 teams. There's no regional tournament for men's Division III. So the computer rankings are it. And the final rankings, they will be released on 3/1. So those are coming up here in a couple of weeks. The next rankings should be coming out here anytime. When we have those, I'll share them on my social media platforms. All right, let's take a look at some of the big games. Really, it comes down to conference tournament action, and the MCHL is huge. I mean, they've got so many big matchups there with University of Mary, Jamestown, Minot, Midland. There's so many great teams there. They're going to beat the crap out of each other in that conference. Then, of course, you've got the GL6 tonight. You've got Hope taking on Davenport. And the winner of the Adrian will still play on Friday in the semifinal. If it holds to chalk, they're going to take on Purdue Northwestern and then Calvin and Hope. But Davenport's got a lot to say about that. So big matchups there. But this weekend, probably the marquee matchup, there's 2 big ones I want to talk about. Nevada, Las Vegas, and Utah are going to do battle this weekend. They're going to play on Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. in Utah. And then on Friday, I believe they're also going to be playing. They're going to be playing at 9:30. So this is a bonus for everybody. After the D2 men's regionals on Friday and Saturday, you could stick around and watch Nevada, Las Vegas, and Utah, which could be, who knows? It could be a preview of a matchup in the men's Division I tournament down in St. Louis. So those 2 teams are going to do battle. And then this weekend as well, it's going to be 2 of the top teams, 2 top 10 teams doing battle. It's going to be Ohio taking on Liberty. So they're going to hook up again this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I am not mistaken. They're going to be playing Saturday night at La Jolla at 7 o'clock. And I believe they're going to be playing Friday night as well. Let me look real quick as I scroll down my screen here. I know also that Drury and Maryville are going to do battle as well. 5 versus 8 in that matchup. Huge matchups this weekend in men's Division I. So there you go. All right, before we leave you tonight, want to remind everybody again that coming up next week, 9 o'clock Eastern time on the Liberty Sports Network, Liberty Flame Sport Network, we're going to have the men's Division I reveal show. What that entails is we're going to bring you all the brackets. The final brackets will be released. All the matchups in the opening round. Who gets the first round buys, the top 8 teams. We're going to have live look-ins, watch parties of some of the teams around the country. We're going to have some of the coaches of the teams that make it. They'll be joining us. Everybody's looking to chase the defending national champions, Skating Rebels of UNLV. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great tournament. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be wide open. So this comes up 9 o'clock Tuesday night. I'll be one of the people, one of the guests, one of the panelists, if you will, one of the co-hosts live from Liberty on the Liberty Flame Sports Network. check out their YouTube channel as well. It'll be on there. It's just an awesome production. I'm just truly blessed and humbled to be a part of that matchup, or be a part of that show as well. So that's going to be Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time on the Liberty Flame Sport Network. And then after that, all the pairings will be put up on the website, achahockey.org. I'll share it on all my social media platforms. And then the following week, we'll have a little show, do another preview as well of all the matchups, because it's getting to be crunch time, everybody. All the pools will be set. The D2 men's will be set. The women's will be ready to go, both Division I and Division II. We're 3 weeks away from puck drop, everybody. It's that simple, 22 days to be exact. It's the 12th through the 22nd. Some great hockey down at the Centene Ice Center and also at Maryville, Maryland Heights, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis. It's the ACHA National Championships, 22 days to puck drop. All right, that's going to do it, everybody. Again, enjoy the hockey this weekend. If you're in Salt Lake City, if you're in Hammond, Indiana, Cincinnati, Simsbury, Connecticut, those are the sites of the regionals. Win or go home time. 2 days, bracketed style. You win 2, you're going to the Nationals in St. Louis in men's Division II. All right, everybody, thanks for joining us here, taking time out to be with us here on the network. However you watch this, on your laptops, your computers, your iPhones, however, on the Captain Lou Sports Network. This edition of the ACHA Power Play reminds you to keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. So long.